Pacific Mornings with Aggie.
Malala Lane, welcome back to Pacific Mornings with Aggie here on 5:31 PI. We're sitting at 7 minutes past 8 o'clock. If you don't know who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is, you have been living under a rock. But the Young Rock's TV series follows the life of young Dwayne Johnson. Of course, in his rise to the top, it is a comedic twist on real-life stories told by The Rock himself. Here's a quick snippet.
More tartar sauce, please. Then I got back to my fish and chips. But the man's wife was
Uncle Tonga, you know I love this story, and I can't wait to tell it to my kids one day. It's just that I'm kind of in a rush. I'm wrestling for Vince tomorrow, and I need to borrow some gear.
You're wrestling for Vince? Mm-hmm. Then I have some advice for you. Remember who you are.
What do you mean?
A lot of things are about to change for you. People are going to want to change you. So just remember who you are.
Joining us now is Tongan actor Mana Tatafu, who you just heard playing legendary wrestler King Haku. And with that, I say malo e tama e bongbongini, and welcome to the show.
Malo lele, pero gore ke hu fanga te ngai tang fatapo to te bos na fucking fama. Para ma fama falarian. Pata mo go fata ki lave skag me fanga marian. Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
Oh, so good, Mana. Thank you so much. It is such a great opportunity to, of course, meet you and catch up with you. I mean, this is such a... I don't know, whenever I obviously see our people out there doing great things, for yourself, though, your reaction, being an actor and being told, hey, you're actually going to play this role as King Haku, how was that even for you?
Very emotional when it finally came around to it. When my agent called and she told me I kind of like just missed the news. And I asked her, oh, yeah, so what's our next step from here on in? Because I knew I was shortlisted. To which she was just like, oh, did you not hear what I said? Congratulations, you're now an official cast member of Young Rock Season 2. And I remember I was eating katsubi at St. Luke's Mall, and I was just crying, crying there in the food court, not knowing what to do. And I was catching up with a classmate at the time, and she was like, asking me right then, because she could see she's a fellow actor as well. We both attended the Actors program. She goes, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't want to get out of the seat because I think the moment's tied to the seat. Like, it might not be real. So, yeah, first person I called was just my mom.
Oh, beautiful.
And, yeah, she goes, who's Rock? And I was like, oh, it's, went down that track. And then, yeah, she was like, go to church straight away. And, yeah. But it was just, yeah, really, really emotional, especially when you're in the blind pursuit and you finally achieve something, a role, but not just any role, like, an American TV series, like who ever dreams of achieving it, like that quick, I'd say.
And that's it, I've heard a little bit of your journey, to where you've been in that pursuit, right, of the life, I suppose, of being an actor to get this role. What's the experience been, though, itself, while you were filming the actual Young Rock?
It was amazing, like probably, the greatest experience of my life, really. When you sort of pursue something and fully run off faith without, and not by sight, and then you finally achieve it, you're just like, it gets to the point and you don't know how to feel, but it was a really wholesome moment, to land a role, and not just any role. You're representing, a legend from Tonga, that sort of paved his way as like one of the global, sporting stars coming out, like before, it was in the 80s before Jonah Lomu was even there, and everyone sort of knew he was from Tonga. So to be able to play someone your own ethnicity and also see like wrestling, Tongan flags and like the crowd, like, it was really, really special. Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And yes, as we know, us Tongans are so hearty in any retrospect when we talk about things in regards to our Tongan people. I grew up knowing King Haku in the WWF, era. There are pictures, though, of you, Mana, wrestling in the ring. Did you actually have to take classes so you actually sort of looked and knew what you were doing?
I suppose you could call it a class. Well, on set we have a wrestling coordinator, and it was Chavo Guerrero. So basically, how everything goes, he runs us. How the match is gonna go, and then we just rehearse it. But it was also a really good learning curve for me to learn more about wrestling. From someone that's been there and done that. So yeah, and then the rest was just a lot of research on video, and But yeah, shout out to Chava. Yeah,
Absolutely. Oh, no, yeah, what a privilege. If you're tuning in, we are speaking with Mana Tatafu, who plays King Haku in Dwayne Johnson's TV series Young Rock. Now, as an actor, I mean, what does it take, I suppose, for you to try and embody that type of character, especially King Haku?
And I mean, no pressure, right? And we all know of all the stories of how fearsome he was. But first of all, it was like trained to sort of get close to looking like a wrestler. Was the first step. But then it was also diving into who he was as a person, not just only in the public eye, but also private person. You found out his love for his family and all that, so all the stories you hear of him had to come from somewhere, and I just put it down to he's a really loyal guy, and for whatever he believes in, he fights for it. And if someone's really, really loyal to something and someone tries to disrupt that, then of course you'll have to sort it out. So he has a lot of love, and it's for in this case Dwayne Johnson's family. Dwayne Johnson calls him uncle. But yeah, he's just a really, really humble guy. He's got his core Tongan values at hand. I had the pleasure of meeting him as well.
Wow.
So just talking to the guy
So
that you're
cool.
playing is sort of like, oh, I hope. But he was really. It was a really good chat. We spoke for more than an hour in Tongan, and we just shared upbringing stories, but also navigating the fact that he was a young Tongan boy leaving Tonga and going into a different culture. Just imagine all the experiences and that. So that's sort of like what I was sort of going for in the embodiment of him as a person.
Love it. To think about, of course, there were other Kiwi actors there with you too, right, of Pacific descent. What's it like having to know that you're surrounded by just your people, and this is a series about your people? What's that like?
Oh, it was greatest encouragement to just go out and do your best, knowing that you had your fellow Kiwis, at your back. I remember we got out of quarantine, and then that first Sunday we had sort of a big Sunday lunch going and I think it was Fati's room, and it was just being in that space where we're all fellow actors, but we also have our Polynesian culture about us.
Yeah.
It just made you feel like, if everything will be fine because you've got all these people here, your family. But yeah, it was great. I mean, I aspired, when I was studying my studying acting, and just in the pursuit, you learn of these people, because you want to look at and study other people's journeys as Polynesian actors, So just to work alongside them was just full of heart, really.
Yeah.
And it probably was like a chill exterior, but inside I was dying.
Can only imagine. I would say then, Mana, as you've been inspired by other actors, now that you're in this space, what would be your message or your encouragement to those who are going to come behind you and want to get into the space of acting?
Honestly, it's such a cliche, but it's just do it, even if the odds are against you, even if sometimes you want to quit, because when you finally achieve what you're so passionate about, you get that emotional moment. And when that moment happened for me, it sort of made all the struggles and, leaving home and all of that worth it. And then, you get to sort of make your family proud, make yourself proud, make your country proud. But yeah, it's not an easy road, but it's definitely a really rewarding road. And if you're already pursuing your passion, that's half the job. You're halfway there.
Love it. Man, I would just say, is there any sort of maybe future projects that we might be able to know or look into that you're going to be part of?
Not at the moment. But yeah, just back to the grind. Really, I saw that season 3 is recently announced.
Yes.
We don't know what that looks like. If it happens, it happens. If not, hey, I was so grateful to be, on the first one. And it's just life of an actor, just constantly auditioning and searching for that next opportunity. So, but you'll soon, if I do land something, then I guess you
I'm
got
sure we're
to
gonna find out about it. Absolutely, Mana. I know this. I just want to give this opportunity though to you, if you would be able to say anything in Tongan. I think just to anyone out, to our Tongan community, because that I feel like is such a fitting thing right now. If you could encourage them, if they want to get into the space of acting, or just a word of encouragement to them out there. Would love to hear it.
Yeah. Ki mo tolo ko pe ko ni ko mo whakaukau ke mo ahia malai ko e whaiva. O whai mo fua, o wege whai mo fua ka uhinga, o ka ui e ngahi. Ta whaaki e malawa ki au ki hatau kakai. So yeah, and ka pau te mo, ko hape whainga mea te mo whima o koe me mo ui koe ni. Mo alu maluhita o te, angela o te fo.
Yes.
Mate mātonga. Teke peke mālo.
Oh, love it. Mana si malo pita hosi. Ikaw mai ke pokarame pongpongini. Really appreciate your time. And, we are fully supporting you, and we are looking forward to, obviously, future work from you. But again, thank you so much, and congratulations on everything that you've achieved so far.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity to jump on the show.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much again. Of course, that is Tongan actor Mana Tatafu, who, of course, plays the young King Haku in Dwayne Johnson's TV series, The Young Rock. Stay tuned. Of course, we're going to be catching up and, doing our peanut butter and jams. But if you've missed this interview, feel free to head to our 531PI Facebook page.